Hi, welcome to the Think Talk. I'm Beatrice. If you're new to this channel, please take time out and subscribe and press the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload videos. Also follow me on Facebook and Instagram because I post my videos across board. So today is Saturday, the 3rd of July. Yes. And yesterday, which is the 2nd, I went to visit a friend, and he said, "Oh, I've been watching your videos on YouTube, Facebook, or where have you, and I saw this video that somebody made, and I think you'll be interested to give perspective to it." So this is my first reaction video. I never react to videos. I never look at things and just be like, wow. So whilst I was driving back home, I put it on speaker, Bluetooth speaker in the car, and then we were listening to it. And it has so much depth. When it finishes, me and my son, we are clapping like we were so happy, like it was so good. So before I give my thoughts on what was said in the video, please take a look at this 5 minutes video, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Good day, everyone. The other day I pulled out some old photographs and was going through them, and it amazed me how quickly time has flown. Our 2 little boys have now grown up and gotten married and have little ones of their own. And thinking back, I thought about an incident that made a great difference in my life. It was a lesson my husband taught me, and I have to call this video, "Don't Be a Martyr." The boys had just won a football match in school, and my husband thought that we had to take them out for a treat. So we took them to an ice cream store, and my husband asked the boys, "What flavor do you want?" And they excitedly chose their flavor. And then he turned to me and said, "And what flavor would you like?" Well, it was that time in my life when I thought that expenses were mounting and it was up to me to curb monthly household budget. And also being a selfless person, as mothers always are, putting their own desires on the back burner so their family could get the best. I told him I don't want any. Well, the boys gobbled up their ice cream, and my husband said, "Do you want some more?" And they added scoops to their cones. And again my husband turned to me and said, "Well, do you want some?" And I said, "No, I don't want any. You go ahead." My husband gave me a long look and, well, he was uncharacteristically quiet on the ride home. Well, that night when the children went to bed, he took me aside and said, "Listen, please don't do this to us. I want a happy wife, not a sacrificial lamb." And I protested and said, "Well, I like to make the sacrifices for you and the boys." And he said, "Too much sacrifice will lead to bitterness and a victim complex. When you say you don't want anything, you're sending a message that you're strong enough to handle it on your own. And soon we are going to stop asking. And then you're going to feel absolutely neglected, like a worn-out doormat, and you're going to think that we don't care." And I thought about it, and it made a lot of sense to me. And from that day, I laid stake and claim to any offer that was made to me, and we were all so much the happier for it. Today, I meet a lot of older women who tell me, "You know, I did so much for my children and my family when they were young, and today they don't even think about me. They don't even care." Well, in the first place, looking back at the incident of the ice creams, I would like to tell you that perhaps their attitude is because of your attitude many years ago. And besides, if you did something for your children and family, I sincerely hope that we all do it without expecting anything in return. You know, children who are adults today could well turn around and tell us, well, I never asked you to do that for me. You did it yourself. Your self-sacrificing gave you happiness then. Why are you laying the guilt trip on us now? Parenting is the biggest sacrifice one can make. It's putting your whole life on hold to fulfill the promise of your children's tomorrows. Isn't that enough? For heaven's sake, don't deny yourself anything. Oh yes, don't go to extremes, but maintain a balance. So if you want to eat ice cream, go scoop it up. If you want to open a bottle of wine, who's to stop you? And if you want to go out to lunch or a movie with your friends, go with no guilt. Stop being a martyr. Shrug off that sackcloth and ashes and get on with it. Wear positivity, vibrancy, and joy. It isn't selfish to love yourself and to make your happiness a priority. In fact, it's absolutely necessary. Cheers.
So how insane or how magical or how beautiful that is. She said it so beautifully. And when I looked at it and I looked at my life and I looked at all mothers across the board, and usually even fathers, and how much we just sacrifice ourselves for the future, being very futuristic, thinking about the kids, thinking about what things will happen, how things will be in the future. And when I looked at the video, in as much as it's a woman that made the video, but do you know how much men really sacrifice for their family? This has nothing to do with being a feminist, being a this. It's just the reality of life. There are good men who actually stand up to their responsibility and give their all. Like, they live their life futuristically. I was with somebody for the longest of time, and I think that person is one of the people that don't live in the moment. They live futuristically, like, what will happen tomorrow? I am not going to do this and just I love this. Let's forget about the video. Let me crush on this. Don't mind me. So as I was saying, that person was so futuristic. He's the kind of person that if he's parking the car, if I come home, I just park the car, face to wherever, I'm coming from. But he will make sure that the car is turning the other way around, ready to go out the next morning or what have you. So I think there are men like that live their life futuristically. They don't think about today. They don't think about what they're wearing, what they're eating. All they're thinking about how my kids will go to school, how I will build a house, how I will secure our future, how I'll make sure we are financially secured for our, everything is in the future. And what she said, that when you sacrifice yourself too much, you end up becoming bitter. I think that stung. Like, it is so much of a reality. And I have seen women who walk away or things don't work in a relationship, who are so bitter that they gave up so much to be in that situation. But guess what? The thing that she said that really resonated with me, that I think it's also a takeaway for you that have watched the video, is that nobody asked you, nobody begged you. The time you were making that sacrifices, a part of you was being fulfilled. You were happier making those sacrifices. Imagine you made a sacrifice that your son or your daughter go to a good school. It gives you some sort of satisfaction, some sort of social standing, so to speak. Even if it deprived you. But if you consistently put yourself in the back burner and not give yourself the opportunities to like explore life, live life a little, enjoy. Like for me, I think I had a son 2 years into my, being responsible for myself. If that makes sense. I started working 2 years and I had a son. So what that means is I have never actually lived a life where I just think about myself. 2 years into working, I have somebody that I have to think about. So if I don't make those fine adjustments wherein I don't forget about myself, I live my entire life just pleasing my son or my spouse. What that means in essence is I don't do anything for myself. The second thing that stuck with me in the video is when she says that you are offered something, and just because you are in this mentality of sacrificing, you want to be like the sacrificial lamb of the family, you ignore yourself and refuse offers. This is a tricky one, especially for Sierra Leonean men. Sierra Leonean men, a lot of women will say, they don't even offer us in this country. They don't even offer us, because if they offer us, we will take. But guess what? I know it's not a universal statement I am saying, but I also know women, even if they offer them, they will find a way to save it and to present it back to the man just in case things are lacking somewhere. There are women who don't work at all. They are housewives. And a man will give them money and they will find a way to save that money to say, okay, if things go bad with the man, I have something to, fall back on. That is not a bad thing at all. I think the point of the video is don't give yourself, or don't keep refusing offers to the point that people think that you don't need it. Because you see these children, they are like a sponge. They absorb things. They look at you, oh, daddy offered this my mom a treat. My mom says no, she's fine. They interpret it as not a sacrifice, but you being fine. Like they don't get it. So it will come a time when everybody thinks that you are sorted. Like you don't need anything. You are just, sorted. You don't want gifts, because when they give you gifts, you refuse them. When they offer you things, you behave as if you are queen, whatever. So the message is so profound that let us not leverage, or don't be making all of the sacrifices thinking that it is an investment you are making. You are making the sacrifices based on what you are feeling right now, based on what is fulfilling you. Don't project this so-called investment, because the truth is, I think African parents especially see children as an investment. Well and good, but they never tell you upfront that this thing I'm doing for you, I am doing because I am investing in you. You get? They do it for you and you feel as if, okay, they just love me, or they are fulfilling a responsibility. You don't feel that they never told you that this way I'm paying school fee for you, it is an investment, or I want my returns. They don't tell you that this is a business transaction. So when she said that when you're pouring in all of this, your love, all of this, your sacrifice into these kids, or into this husband, or into this union, don't wake up one morning and sit down and start to wait for returns. When the time the business was small and they were giving you returns, you are rejecting them. And you think it is only when you think the returns is ripe, that is the time people should give you returns. People will not figure it out that way. They will not figure it out that way. So ladies, and I don't want to limit this to just ladies, even men, I see you. I see you. In as much as they are saying men are irresponsible, they are bad, for me, I see you. I see men stepping up, taking their children to playgrounds. I see them. I see men stepping up, taking their kids to school. I see you. I see men stepping up, buying surprise gifts for or making surprise birthdays. I see you. All of that take teeny tiny bits of sacrifice, putting yourself aside for the other person. It is a beautiful thing. I think the entire idea of the video is don't totally put yourself on the back burner. Find a fine balance wherein if you feel like eating ice cream, as she said, please eat ice cream. If you feel like popping a bottle of wine, do it. If you feel like you need a holiday, do it. If you feel like you need a staycation, Go to one of these beach resorts for a weekend by yourself. Have a good swim. Relax, read a nice book, read a magazine. Do it. Because it is what is well kept that can keep something. There is a local balang that says, if I don't get per mind, and they rub and person. If I don't have energy, if I don't like myself, I can't do it well with you. I can't share what I don't have. So I see people really drained, really empty, all in the pursuit of making the sacrifices for family. You also matter. You also matter. And don't wait, because the truth of the matter is, nobody guarantees you the future. I look at myself that I am a now person, somebody that knows me very well. If they're watching this video, they'll say, you know, like if I go to a party and everybody's like dying to turn their car to like face the street, I just park. I go in and I have a good time. If I come out, it will sort itself out. I will go home eventually. I don't like live futuristically, like I try to enjoy the moment. And I recommend it for people. I am not saying that, like when it comes to the bigger issues of life, of course I try to plan for my future. But on the daily, to look after yourself, to find time. Like I live with my son. My son knows that very well. If I come back from work, that's my first 30 minutes. Don't even come and disturb me. I like to take off this thing, take off my bra and just lie down and enjoy, reflect, enjoy myself. That is very important. Let's find a fine balance. Because the reason is that this investment you are making, you don't know the returns. You don't know the returns that it have for you in the future. Somebody told me once, and I was very vivid with the person. Then she says the only thing she's giving her daughter, she had a daughter, beautiful daughter. She said, I am giving her education, period. She said, I'm giving her education, period. Me, I'm enjoying my life. She said she will sort herself out. So eventually, you don't have to build mansion, houses, this and that. Because when you do all of that, guess what happens? You take away the ability or the stretch that these kids are supposed to have. Because they think that they have a buffer. Even if they don't do anything, they have a buffer that you have created for them anyways. So you see? So the idea is investing in them what is important. Give them good moral values, give them a good education. At the end of the day, if they have it right, if they know, if they're emotionally intelligent, if their IQ is up there, they have a good education, they will make it. And it is only when you leave them with such grounding that they actually expand. They actually see the world for what it is. Build a child 10 houses. They will come to this world. Maybe their potential is for them to build 15 houses. But they will say, you know what, I have 10 already. Let me just build 5. So you are limiting the potential of the child if you want to you want to kill yourself. Just to, project this superhero or martyr kind of, as she said, kind of behavior. It's not necessary at the end of the day. So learn to take care of yourself. Learn to come back to yourself. And, look at what is important. If you're not enjoying life, I think this story, this short one, the way the woman took the wine at the end of the video, it's just that, no, I gave up on alcohol. I would have just popped, a 5 bottle of red wine. I just relax. At the end of the day, we need it. You need to relax. You need to, rejuvenate. Things will sort out themselves eventually. Don't kill yourself. I love you very much. Guess what? I don't know much. It's been the thing talk how I think and so I talk out. But actually, this video touched me. I hope it makes sense to you. Enjoy your life. Bye-bye.